this freezing and exploding.
Powerful winter storm, part of a widespread system that has carved a dangerous path across the United States over the last 24 hours, continues to batter parts of the South with freezing rain, sleet, brittle ice, and bitter cold temperatures. In Tennessee and Mississippi, conditions are especially hazardous, as a long-duration ice storm has formed heavy glaze on trees, roads, and electrical infrastructure, leaving communities grappling with severe disruptions and risks. The combination of persistent sub-freezing temperatures and continuous freezing precipitation has kept surfaces locked in ice and made even simple outdoor movements a serious hazard for residents. Across Tennessee, the storm's impacts have been profound. Widespread layers of ice have formed on nearly every surface, resulting in tree limbs and entire trees succumbing to the weight and snapping with sharp explosive cracks as frozen sap and moisture expand within their trunks. These failures have frequently struck power lines, poles, and transformers, pushing parts of the state's electrical network beyond its tolerance. In Mississippi, the storm's power has been similarly disruptive. Heavy ice buildup on tree limbs and utility lines has left tens of thousands of homes and businesses without electricity, with outages widespread across the state's northern and central counties. Local electric cooperatives have described the damage as significant, with crews working in extremely hazardous conditions among ice-covered terrain and downed limbs. The storm has coated the landscape in a thick sheet of ice that makes travel nearly impossible and keeps recovery efforts slow, while households without power struggle to maintain heat and water in prolonged freezing temperatures. Communication from residents in affected zones describes quiet but stark danger in rural areas, where long driveways and untreated backroads sit under a cloak of ice, and downed lines may lie hidden beneath broken limbs or snow. Families without reliable heat have been forced to ration generator fuel and phone batteries alike, mindful of the bitter cold that continues to grip the region. Emergency officials have repeatedly urged people to stay indoors, treat every downed wire as live and lethal, and only travel for absolute emergencies, noting that improvised travel on slick roads often leads to pileups and additional calls for rescue. The storm has also hampered broader transportation systems. Thousands of flight cancellations at airports nationwide reflect the broader impact beyond just Tennessee and Mississippi, as freezing precipitation has led to icy runways and dicing backlogs. Interstate highways in the South remain hazardous, with slick conditions prompting multiple closures and emergency advisories. In states where tree canopy is heavy and power infrastructure is predominantly above ground, the combination of ice accumulation and powerful sub-freezing air has produced failures reminiscent of historically disruptive ice storms. Meteorologists and emergency managers alike underscore that this is not a short-lived event. Even when the current icing ends, the persistent cold will allow melted surface slush to refreeze into black ice and keep tree limbs brittle, delaying repairs and amplifying risks for those without heat or power. Residents have been advised to prepare for the possibility of multi-day outages, mitigate carbon monoxide risks from improper generator use, and treat every intersection with extreme caution due to hidden ice. In summary, as of January 26, 2026, Tennessee and Mississippi remain deeply affected by one of the most persistent ice and cold events of the season. The storm's convergence of freezing rain, extended sub-freezing temperatures, and infrastructure stress has resulted in widespread power outages, extensive tree damage, travel paralysis, and ongoing danger for residents. The full recovery, from restoring electricity to clearing ice-brittle streets, is expected to take time, even as communities mobilize resources and brace for continued cold.